Good evening. This is CTV News for Tuesday, November 19th. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Rochelle Metzger. Glad to have you with us tonight. Well, a front yard on Kent Village Place in Landover became a crime scene this morning. That's where a 30-year-old woman was found stabbed to death. The incident has left the homeowner in shock and police looking for answers. Denise Douglas has the details.
The woman was found in the walkway right here in front of Carrie Jenkins' home. In fact, you can still see some of the blood stains from the stabbing on the concrete right there. And this is clearly not what anyone ever expects to see in front of their home. Here's what we understand from police that happened out here. They say that someone in the neighborhood saw the body around 3 o'clock and called 911. Investigators came out and knocked on Jenkins' door. The 89-year-old had no idea who the victim was or how she ended up in her front yard. Jenkins' grandson, who did not want to show his face on camera, says what happened out here is definitely shocking and sad.
I mean, once again, all praise go to God that it wasn't our family, that was affected directly, but at the same time, it's unfortunate someone did lose their life. So, grandma's kind of disturbed about that, that someone lost their life, especially on her, to open her door and someone's dead on her front porch pretty much. So, but she's okay, outside of that.
Police say that the 30-year-old victim did not live in this neighborhood. At this point, they do not know what situation or circumstances led up to her fatal stabbing, and they don't have any suspects in this case. They're asking anyone with information on what happened out here to give them a call. I'm Denise Douglas, CTV News.
The victim has been identified as Stephanie Littlejohn of Suitland. If you know anything about the fatal stabbing, you're asked to contact Crime Solvers at 1-866-411-TIPS.
Prince George's State's Attorney Angela Alsobrooks is filing an appeal in a murder trial known as the blinking ID case. You may recall Judge Leo Green recently ruled that a video of a homicide victim blinking at a photo of his alleged shooter would not be admissible in court. The victim, Melvin Pate, was shot in 2010 and died last year. The court found that the photo lineup shown to Pate was done properly. However, Judge Green ruled since Pate died, allowing the blinking identification would have violated the defendant's right to confront his accuser. The defendant, Jermaine Hales, allegedly shot Pate during a drug deal.
A Porta-John fire in College Park this morning leaves a man critically injured. The incident happened around 7 a.m. at Sunnyside Neighborhood Park on Rhode Island Avenue. A Maryland state trooper was nearby and saw the fire. He used portable extinguishers from his cruiser to knock down the blaze so he could rescue a person inside. The victim was flown by medevac to a burn center with life-threatening injuries. Authorities are investigating the incident.
The American Civil Liberties Union, Casa de Maryland, and the SEIU release a new report detailing how public safety is undermined when immigrants are detained in Maryland through unnecessary enforcement. According to the report, the majority of detainees are from Latin American or Caribbean origin and have committed minor offenses.
The police came to my house supposedly because I was selling telephone cards.
Me llevaron detenida por 3 días en la cárcel.
They took me away and put me in jail for 3 days.
Y luego la policía me entregó a migración.
After that, the police turned me over to Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
Despite the fact that immigration detainer requests from the federal immigration authorities are completely discretionary and voluntary, state and local facilities are basically treating them as though they were mandatory warrants and are spending local resources enforcing these things and holding people beyond the time when they should otherwise have been released.
Senator Victor Ramirez says local police departments can decline to hold someone for federal detainment, but rarely do so.
A lot of local police departments feel that they have to hold someone until Homeland Security or ICE gets to the jail. And quite honestly, for a long time, people thought that you'd have to hold someone for 48 hours. Now it comes that you don't. It's an option that the local police department have. We want to make sure that we want police and law enforcement to do their job. If someone's out there causing havoc in our community, we want them to be doing that. But if someone didn't stop at a red light and get stopped because they don't have a driver's license, and now are turned over to ICE, that's not serving anyone anything It's not serving the community. It's not serving law enforcement because now people are afraid of calling law enforcement.
And Senator Ramirez plans to propose a new law called the Maryland Trust Act in the 2014 General Assembly session. He says it would be similar to a California law that prevents detainment for those who pose no threat. Well, gubernatorial candidate Heather Mizzier proposes legalizing marijuana and using the tax revenue to fund pre-kindergarten education. The Montgomery County delegate wants the state to regulate marijuana much like it does alcohol. Mizzier estimates that the drug could bring in up to $157 million in new revenue each year. Under the plan, adults 21 and older could possess up to an ounce without violating state law. Smoking would not be allowed in public, and it would be illegal to drive under the influence. Mizzier faces Attorney General Doug Gansler in next year's Democratic primary. His running mate, Delegate Jolene Ivey, commented on the plan.
We've kind of gone towards more of a medicinal, limited kind of view of what marijuana can be and how it should be treated. Even decriminalization, I can see. I don't think that we're at a point where legalization is a good idea, and I don't know that we ever will be. But at this point, I'm certainly very enthusiastic about decriminalizing marijuana because it's really not right that young people are ending up with criminal records for something like that.
Meantime, Ivey also talked about how Prince George's is well represented in the governor's race.
Prince George's County clearly has risen in the ranks as far as power in the state, and it's exciting to be recognized that way.
And Mizzier and Gansler also face Lieutenant Governor Anthony Brown in the gubernatorial primary. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Rochelle Metzger.